Using blockchain in the supply chain has the potential to improve supply chain transparency and traceability, as well as reduce administrative costs. A blockchain supply chain can help participants record price, date, location, quality, certification, and other relevant information to more effectively manage the supply chain. The availability of this information within blockchain can increase traceability of material supply chain, lower losses from counterfeit and grey market, improve visibility and compliance over outsourced contract manufacturing, and potentially enhance an organization's position as a leader in responsible manufacturing. Blockchain supply chain innovations can deliver the following primary and secondary benefits. Primary benefits could be increased traceability of material supply chain to ensure corporate standards are met, lower losses from counterfeit and grey market trading, improve visibility and compliance over outsourced contract manufacturing, and last, reduce paperwork and administrative costs. Whereas the secondary benefits could be strengthen corporate reputation through providing transparency of materials used in the product. Also, improve credibility and public trust of the data shared. Reduce potential public relations risk from supply chain malpractices. And engage stakeholders. Let us now take an in-depth look at how the companies are applying blockchain to tackle needs that current technologies and methods cannot address. The first among them is enhanced traceability. As an example, the US Drug Supply Chain Security Act of 2013 requires pharmaceutical companies to identify and trace prescription drugs to protect consumers from counterfeit, stolen, or harmful products. Driven by that mandate, large pharmaceutical companies are collaborating with its supply chain partners to use blockchain for this purpose. Drug inventory is tagged with electronic product codes that adhere to GS1 standards. As each unit of inventory flows through from one firm to another, its tag is scanned and recorded on the blockchain, creating a history of each item all the way to the supply chain, from its source to the end consumer. Meanwhile, IBM is working on a similar effort to create a safer food supply chain. It has founded the IBM Food Trust and entered into a partnership with Walmart to use blockchain for tracing fresh produce and other food products. The second benefit could be increased efficiency and speed and reducing disruptions. Let us understand this with a small example. Consider product A, which uses components C1 and C2, and a product B, which uses components C1 and C3. If the manufacture of product B is held up because of disruption in the production of component C3, the optimal move is to temporarily allocate inventory of C1 to product A until the disruption is resolved. However, if all products and components are manufactured by different companies with limited visibility into one another's inventory, what could easily happen is that excess inventory of C1 piles up at the company making product B, even if the maker of product A has a stockout of C1 and needs it urgently. One solution is for the companies to agree to centralize their data on production and inventory allocation decisions in a common repository. But imagine the level of integration that would entail. All involved companies would have to trust the others with their data and accept centralized decisions, regardless of whether they are partners or competitors. That may not be realistic. A more practical solution is for participating companies to share their inventory flows on a blockchain and allow each company to make its own decisions using common, complete information. Companies would utilize a Kanban system to place orders with one another and manage production. This would enhance the visibility of inventory flows across companies and make lead times more predictable. Other companies that are working on developing supply chain solutions in blockchain are Walmart Canada. It has already begun using blockchain with the trucking companies that transport its inventory. Hayward, a multinational manufacturer of swimming pool equipment. They are using blockchain to track the delivery of components manufactured and supplied by partners. Another benefit could be improving financing, contracting, and international transactions. Consider the matter of financing. Banks that provide working capital and trade credit to firms face a well-known problem of information asymmetry regarding a borrower firm's business, the quality of its assets, and its liabilities. For example, a company might borrow money from several banks against the same asset or request a loan for one purpose and then use it for another. Banks design their process to control such risks, which increases transaction costs, slows down access to capital, and reduces the capital available to small firms. Such frictions are detrimental not only to banks but also to firms that need cheap working capital. Another activity ripe for improvement is accounts payable management, an elaborate process that involves invoicing, reconciling invoices against purchase orders, keep track of terms and payments, and conducting reviews and approvals at each step. Even though ERP systems have automated many of these steps, considerable manual intervention is still needed. And since neither of the transacting firms has complete information, conflicts often arise. The third area of opportunity is cross-border trade, which involves manual processes, physical documents, many intermediaries, and multiple checks and verifications at ports of entry and exit. Transactions are slow, costly, and plagued by low visibility into the status of shipments. By connecting inventory, information, and financial flows and sharing them with all transacting parties, a blockchain enables companies to reconcile purchase orders, invoices, and payments much more easily and to track the progress of transactions with counterparties. When the supplier receives an order, a bank with access to blockchain can immediately provide the supplier with working capital. And when merchandise is delivered to the buyer, the bank can promptly obtain payments. Since there is a readily available audit trail and reconciliations can be automated using smart applications that rely on the blockchain data, conflicts between the bank and the borrowing firm are eliminated. Another benefit is a counterfeit can be traced to its source using blockchain trail. Companies are addressing these risks in three ways. First, they are stringently conducting physical audits when products first enter the supply chain to ensure that shipments matches blockchain records. Second, they are building distributed applications called dApps that track products throughout the supply chain, check data integrity, and communicate with blockchain to prevent errors and deceptions. If a counterfeit or an error is detected, it can be traced to its source using the blockchain trail of transactions for that asset. Third, companies are making the blockchain more robust by using IoT or Internet of Things devices and sensors to automatically scan products and add records to the blockchain without human intervention. To conclude, there is considerable room to improve supply chains in terms of end-to-end traceability, speed of product delivery, coordination, and financing. Blockchain can be a powerful tool for addressing the deficiencies. It is now time for supply chain managers who are standing on the sidelines to assess the potential of blockchain for their businesses. They need to join the efforts to develop new rules, experiment with different technologies, conduct pilots with various blockchain platforms, and build an ecosystem with other firms. Yes, this will require a commitment of resources, but the investment promises to generate a handsome return.